there's another question down here. It says, number 10, identify the settlement west of G. Where is G? There we've got G. There's G. West of G, there's a settlement. It says St. Monica's Mission. It says, provide 2 reasons for the type of settlement at G. Right. Okay, so we go at G and we look at G and we see that there's a building and we look at it. So just remember that when we're working with maps, topographical maps, we can go through the notes and we can talk about the symbols and, you know, what does blue indicate, and that indicates drainage on the map, or the way that agricultural land, the irrigation methods, getting the water distributed to the farmland, and we can talk about the infrastructure. But there's always going to be a question that we can't necessarily go over in your notes with you guys. So that's where you guys got to use your knowledge, apply to your map that you're working on, and figure out. All right, so in this case, we've got St. Monica's Mission. What type of settlement could this be? All right, so the name gives it away. The name could be identified, going historical, let's say taking back, centuries ago or a couple of years ago, a Christian missionary, so it's a religious group came by and they established a settlement over here. All right, and normally the settlement goes in hand with building a church, building a school, a community center, etc. So those are the type of things that, I know this is a odd question here, but you need to think outside of the box. Don't close yourself down, especially look at the mark allocation. If it's 1 mark, you give the answer, you say it's St. Monica's Mission, that's it, that's the answer, 1 mark, there you go, happy go lucky, we go forth south. All right, then, but look at the mark allocation. If it's 2 times 1, 3 times 1, then you know, hang on, I've got to load my answer with facts here. And then you guys got to apply yourself to the map. All right, what evidence is being given to you on the map? All right, so that's just one of the questions. Then there's another question, identify 3 natural and 3 constructed features on the map. That's easy, because we actually don't give you an alphanumerical grid reference even. We don't ask you in a specific block to identify, but let's take it over here. All right, we're focusing on this area here. What could be a constructed, in this surrounding area? Let's just circle this. We're going to look at this specific area, and we're going to look at what could be natural and constructed. Well, we firstly see that there's cultivated land. All right, it's like a tomatoes growing all over the show, oranges, you name it. So when you're going to walk in the natural reserve, you don't just see that. Oh well, on an occasion you'll get a tree that bears berries and etc. But you won't get a random orange tree standing there, and a lemon tree, and another one, and a tomato, and etc. So when you see this, you'll notice that, hang on, this is being constructed, it's cultivated. Although it's green, it's cultivated. Then over here we've got green, and this could be an indication of natural woodland here. Why? Because we've got contour lines very close to one another. All right, and this forms a specific landform. All right, normally when you see trees over here, trees that are planted, we can't see that the trees were planted, but most of the time when trees are in a straight row, there's an indication of trees like this. It could be for aesthetic value, or it could be a purpose for if we go further up in the map, we'll notice that over here we can see that there's specifically a row of trees over here, and we can say that these trees have been planted, which is man-made. No trees, very seldom, will occur in a straight line. All right, they are not there to sing the national anthem. Okay, so they're standing over here. They've been planted here, so it could be acting as a windbreak. Okay, a windbreak. When you buy a windbreaker, what's the purpose? To keep out the nasty southeaster. Right, I'm just kidding, guys. But anyways, if you got trees over here, it's normally between agricultural land. It's there to protect the crops that's growing in the area. So it acts as a windbreaker. What does a windbreaker do? It minimizes the impact of the wind on the cultivated land, on the agricultural land, so that less topsoil is blown away. Remember, we're going to get into factors when we're going into, I think it was term 3, when we talk about surface forces that shapes the surface area of our country. And one of them is erosion that we're going to look at. Okay, so we've got a row of trees here, acts as a windbreaker. So this is man-made. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then we're going back to the area over here. We'll notice that there's a construction of a road, there's buildings here as well, and then natural, we've got a non-perennial river. We've got a non-perennial river. That means the river that only flows in the season, in which is predominantly the rainy season. Right, and then we've got a permanent river here as well, also indication of a natural feature. And then, of course, we've got non-perennial water over here. Like I said, in the exams, in your test, you will actually get a key, get a reference where you can go and check this out. Okay, so you won't be sitting there sucking your thumbs, not knowing what to say. Right, we've got a reservoir here, man-made reservoir. We've got also over here, we've got an L-shaped, and these L-shaped infrastructure, remember, remains ruins, remains of buildings. Also, another thing could have been that this area was predominantly used way back when. But yeah, I'm not going to go into that. But yeah, anyways, guys, another key feature that I can also mention. Remember, there's a question about height. How is height indicated on a map? Okay, so remember, we've got contour lines indicating height above sea level, and then we've got the trick beacon, we've got the spot height, and very important as well, don't forget about this little chap over here. It's known as the benchmark. Okay, so we've got the benchmark, we've got the contour lines, the trick beacon, spot height, and those are all indication of height above sea level. When last, by the way, have you guys gone hiking? All right, it's beautiful weather. Ask your parentals to take you out and go hiking. All right, guys, that's all for now. Over and out.